Assalamualaikum everyone. Let me ask you a question. Did you know that the first TV show that has been broadcasted was 92 years ago? The answer is yes. The first TV show has been broadcasted in 1930, and at that moment it can only be broadcasted within a short range of broadcast tower. There are some famous events that has been televised, such as 1936 Summer Olympic in Germany, and also coronation of King George IV in 1937 in United Kingdom. And the first television variety show or I say weekly variety show has been broadcasted by Texaco Star Theatre in 1948, and there were originally was a radio channel in 1938. When a television show nowadays has a lot of options, vary from movie, drama, series, documentary, and even live broadcasting. Some people have their own preference when it comes to which TV show is most ideal to watch. Most people prefer to watch drama or series and movie when it comes to television show. As someone who like to watch television show in my free time, I want to give you insight about what is an ideal TV show. The ideal TV show must have these three elements, which is in-depth character development throughout the series, proper storyline, and finally, a lot of story arc before the series is ended. Let me begin my sharing with the first element of ideal television show is must have in-depth character development to see the growth of the character. When it comes to drama or television series, we all want to see the character growth and become more strong and much more stronger in the series, because we want to see the given impact to the story, especially main character. In the beginning, character often be introduced by who he or she in the past or present. Throughout the story, it is necessary for all of the character to have development even a little bit, because it will give an audience more, I would say, feel excited to watch and expect more detailed backstory or history of each character. When all characters been introduced properly and has their own backstory, audience can understand more about the character and what role the character play in the story. Each development of the character will give hint to audience that something will happen in the future, and audience also can expect new character will be introduced in the series. This usually happen in long television series because all the character in the beginning just a normal people or just a guy with a weak power, no power, and nothing. But the story goes on, they become more stronger and have more power, and their personality become firm to give an impact to the story. Let's take an example from a famous Japanese television show, Naruto Shippuden. Okay, in the beginning, Naruto is just a weak guy or weak kid, and he is an orphan that have little power, don't have any power, and has been isolated by the villager. And he has a dream to become, or I say ambition to become the greatest ninja in his village. And as the story goes on, he become much more stronger by go to training, by go to mission, and encounter a lot of stronger opponent. And by that we can see that Naruto become closer and stronger to achieve his goal. I'm sorry. So I can see that Naruto at the beginning just a weak guy, and then finally, spoiler alert, Naruto become the greatest ninja in the village. So we already know about the first element of ideal television show. Let's jump to the next one, which is proper storyline throughout the series to make sure the story is in chronological order and according to the plot. Let me explain. When it comes to the series, upcoming episode must have relation or continuation from the last episode. This is important to make sure audience will not confuse of what currently happened. They just don't know what happened if you don't have relation or continuation. In addition, relation between each episode is the key of the good storyline or good television series, and this is what audience want. They want to the story is related and continuous, not being cliffhanger, right? Director usually will end the show at the part where the scene is getting really intense to attract or gain audience interest to watch the next episode. When this happens, audience will like eagerly to watch the next episode, and they will wait the next episode and watch them in the next week. If the next episode is done, if the next episode is not a continuation of the last episode, but rather another scene from the story, it is advised for the director to do a recap in the beginning of episode. Just a short recap about what is currently happened, and then proceed to the storyline or the scenes that they want to do. It is really important to make sure the story is not all over the place, since it will interrupt the flow of the series and ruin audience watch experience. Audience want a show that can entertain them, because when we watch the show, we want feel more entertained, right? And when the show is not continuous, they will confuse and they don't get the point of the story. Okay, the good storyline must have or relate to the character current situation and development, because it is important to, I would say, stabilize the storyline and character development to make sure the series in the right track and in the right pace. Long television series usually have this element, since they want to make sure all characters in the story is not fall behind, and they will make sure all the characters can keep up with the pace of the story. Storyline is one of the most important factor in determining whether the story is good or not. It must in one continuation flow, and there is no gap or cut between storyline, because storyline is like a puzzle where they need to be connect with each other to make one magnificent picture, but in this case, one ideal television series. We have learned about the proper or importance of storyline, so let we move on to the final chapter of this speech. I would say the final element of ideal storyline or ideal story television show is story arc that make the series more interesting, since it can affect audience emotion. Story arc, or also called narrative arc, is most important key in each show or series or even storybook or novel, because story arc is what make the series continue, and the number of story arc will influence the character development and also is related to the storyline. As we can see, story arc can give an impact of when the series will end or how the series will end. Story arc have 5 stages. The first stage is stasis stage, where it's normally just introduction to the character. The second stage is, I would say, a rising action, where at this stage there are problem occurs and something bad or good's gonna happen. And the third stage is climax. This is what we as an audience want to see. The climax is what important or the key of the story. After climax, the next stage is falling action. Falling action is where the pace of the series or the story is slowed down a little bit to make sure all people or all audience can relax a little bit after an intense scene of the climax, such as confession of the character, intense fight, or betrayal, right? After the falling action stage, the final stage is resolution. Resolution is what we used to say the what is the end, either a good ending or bad ending, happy ending or sad ending. That is what resolution is. Or when the resolution end, also when there is part of resolution, it is depends to the director to continue the series or just call it a day and pack their stuff and stop the series. But it is important to know that the series that you make is still have a lot of room to more episode and more adventure. Let me take an example from one Japanese television show that is One Piece, that is been directed by Eiichiro Oda, that currently have 31 story arc and 1005 episode, and currently they are still ongoing. The series start in 1999 and they start as a comic first. So we can see that Oda or Eiichiro Oda really planned well to make sure the One Piece series can continue until now. When this happened, me also watch One Piece, become more loyal to watch the story and enjoy the show until now. Okay, so I want to conclude my speech today about why I said this. Okay, so television shows are made for us, or all of us audience, to entertain ourselves after our rough day from work or daily call and commitment. When watching a show, we want to enjoy to the fullest and relax in our mind. This is important to watch show that has suitable pace and proper storyline or storytelling, since it can enhance our watching experience and can also affect our emotion directly or indirectly. In the end of the day, everyone has their own preference when it comes to watch television show or what type they want to watch. But hey, why not give other show a chance? Because when you don't watch them, you don't know if you like them, right? So just sit tight and enjoy the show. Thank you.